All right, well, here is a bit of a reflection on the TPACK Skills and Knowledge Audit that I conducted on myself based on research, technological, pedagogical content knowledge, TPACK, development and validation of an assessment instrument for pre-service teachers. So being a pre-service teacher, having a go at professional experience, working in a classroom, and where do I think I sit and where do I think I can get better? They're the two big questions. So first of all, where do I sit? So I have looked at my technical knowledge, and I think I strongly agree with all of these statements. I frequently play around with technology. I keep up with important new technologies. I try to be on the forefront of technology. I like investigating it, working with it, playing with it. I love everything from electronics and soldering to the latest Bluetooth and Wi-Fi gadgets. We have a secure network at home, which I'm the administrator of. And I think I have the technical skills I need to use technology. There may be some instrument or equipment specific training that I need to go through, but when it comes to technical knowledge, I think I'm there. I think I've got it. So design technologies or ITAD is the department that I definitely see myself contributing to in the future. Content knowledge, I think I'm just a little bit back. I've got a background in engineering, and so that definitely plays a part in my content knowledge. But how does that actually sit with the Australian curriculum and curriculum documents? And that's why I said, rather than strongly agree, I agree. I can work and think in a way that aligns with my teaching areas. So I have a good grasp on project-based learning and problem-based learning and being able to challenge the students with those, but also come to the table with content knowledge about my major teaching area to help the students to really understand where they are, where they're sitting and how they can move forwards. So definitely agree that I have a good depth of content knowledge. Pedagogical knowledge. Well, this is where I haven't really had a vast experience of being able to apply, implement, test, reflect, learn. I've been through university, through the master's program, and I've got a couple that I'm sitting on the fence, a couple that I think I agree with, and a couple I think I disagree with in terms of my self-audit here. So I think I've got a wide range of teaching approaches under my belt, and I think I know how to assess student performances, so being able to see where they're up to and how I can challenge them and move them forward from there. Classroom management, I know, is a big one that I need to work on. I think I'm just too soft, I'm too nice, and I need to get to a point where, no, they're the students, I'm the teacher, here's the line, you crossed it, there are consequences. Definitely need to work on that. Assess student learning in multiple ways. I don't really have very many tools in my belt, so to speak, for the multiple assessment methods. And adapting my teaching, I know that I need to be able to be a bit more adaptive, and then the one above that second line, I can adapt my teaching based upon what students currently understand or don't. I'm very down the line, I am very rigid, and I know I need to become more flexible in my teaching, but knowing that, highlighting that, and we'll discuss that at the end. I know it's somewhere that I do need to improve. Familiar with common student understandings and misconceptions is also something that I disagree with. I actually have a 15-year-old at home, currently studying in grade 10, but student understandings and misunderstandings, or understandings and misconceptions, is something that I'm really not fully familiar with, and I know I definitely need to get a wider grasp on that particular aspect. So putting them together in terms of the whole TPACK idea, pedagogical and content knowledge. So I can select effective teaching approaches to guide student thinking and learning in my teaching areas. So bringing pedagogical approaches and the content together, I think I've got some strategies and approaches that I can apply those two as a combination to bring the knowledge and the teaching to the students. The technical and content, bringing those together. I know about technologies and applying them with the content knowledge. I think I've got both of those coming together. So strongly agree on that one. So I think I'm there with the technological and content in that respect. And then the technical and the pedagogical, I think I strongly agree that I'm thinking critically about how to use technology in my classroom, that I'm thinking how do I actually apply purposefully technology for learning in my classroom rather than popping it up for the sake of inclusion, for example. But then everything else, I'm just that little bit of a step back, is that I'm not fully strongly agreeing with them, but I think, yeah, I am on that upper side. I can choose technologies that enhance teaching approaches. I can choose technologies that enhance students' learning. So I've got a bit of a handle on some things that can work there. I can adapt the use of technologies that I'm learning about to different teaching activities. I can choose technologies that enhance the content for the lesson. So being able to throw up a particular video or some sort of an interactive brainstorming session, or I used the wheel of names for a lesson. So just little bits of technologies that make the students just go, oh, okay, this is something a little bit different. So I think I'm there with the technological and pedagogical knowledge, and putting them all together. I can teach lessons that appropriately combine content, technology, and teaching approaches in my teaching areas. And I think in industrial design technology, I think I can do that. I'm confident that I can do that I can bring purposeful technology use as well as the content that the students need to learn in my teaching area, and the way that I teach and engage and hold their attention in all of that. So thinking I'm on the agree side, there are a couple that I know that I need to work on. So I definitely think, and this is all in the pedagogical knowledge side of things, and I think this is my deficit because it is the thing that I've had to learn now going through this master's. So number one, becoming more familiar with common student understandings and misconceptions. It came to my attention that I asked the students to collaboratively work on a PowerPoint presentation for a short presentation that they were going to give in small groups, and that they didn't actually understand that they could share and collaborate on the cloud. Becoming familiar with that, I was able to teach them, this is how you do it and this is what you do. So being able to help them to take that step, something that I didn't think I specifically needed to teach them, helped me to understand that, you know what, there is more that I need to become familiar with. Developing strategies, and I need to do three layers of this developing strategies. One, to adapt my teaching based on what students currently understand or do not. So being able to reteach things in slightly different ways. Now, I think I can actually do that. I think I'm good at, if it doesn't get through, taking a step back and taking a different approach. But perhaps when they get it on the first go, how do I then take that and then step it up a notch? And being able to do that on the fly. And I actually think that teaching experience will give me the tools and the strategies to do that. Developing strategies, point number 3 there, to adapt my teaching style to different learners. So I've had a little bit of experience in the classroom, and I feel like I haven't had a massive diverse student base. Looking back on the semester that we've had, I know that I perhaps didn't cater to the diverse learners entirely that were in the classroom, because I saw them perhaps as more as a one cohort group rather than lots of different learners. But being able to adapt that teaching, so one-on-one, whole class, worksheets, information on the board, interactive quizzes, lots of different teachings. I've got strategies, I just need to be able to pull them out when I need them, I think, and strategies to be able to do that and say that it's okay to me, to the students, how it goes. And finally, I know that I need to develop strategies for organisation and classroom management. In particular, that last one, classroom management. The essential skills for classroom management is something that I need to wrap my head around and study and implement and I know I need to do it. I said earlier in this post presentation here that I know that I need to work on that because I am a bit of a softie. I'm a bit of a pushover. When the students turn around and say, "Oh, but sir," they start to sway me, and so just being able to stick to my guns, and as well as when I'm organising activities and when I'm running activities, positioning myself in the classroom so that I can see what they're doing, and making sure that when we are using technology for that purposeful, intentional learning activity, that they're not going off and doing something different and like playing a game. And so my positioning, my classroom management, my expectations of the students is, I think, something that I need to really draw a line in the sand at the start, go hard initially, and then potentially back off once they've got the idea of what my expectations are. So that's where I think I need to develop, and it is primarily in that pedagogical knowledge side of things. But this is being able to identify these, being able to reflect on these, and being able to say, this is what I'd like to do, and then how do I do it? How do I implement it? I've got a couple of strategies and a couple of ideas that I've identified there. So now it's just going and applying it, and as one of the teachers I've worked with has said, throw the spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. So giving a few things a go, giving a few things a try, and seeing where I go from there. All right. Reflection over. Thanks for listening.